my people. Greetings, positive salutations to my people. Much love to my viewers, listeners, and supporters. To communicate with my people once again. Welcome to this particular portal of right knowledge. Representing sound right reasoning, where we can develop the understanding of what we need to be aware of in this era of time that we live in, regarding this being what's called, as far as a specific time perspective, right? Dealing with right now. Now I've been sitting back, just doing some observation of mentalities in the world, dealing with the bigger picture, right, of humanity. In addition to that, like the conscious community, for instance. Or you that's viewing this right now, you may not be aware of certain things that constitute the conscious community. You may be new to certain terminologies or information that I will be conveying through this light code transmission, right? That's this particular beautiful brother who go by the name of Dr. Amos Wilson. Wrote a book, of course, with help. He had help to compile a book. It's a thick book about this thick, called The Blueprint for Black Power, a Moral, Political, and Economic Imperative for Us as a People. It's a book that black household, every black household should have that book in their house. Now, man, here in the United States of America, us as a people, we have work to do when it comes to us positioning ourselves politically to a particular sovereign status to where we are secure in our nationhood. But before we get there is a lot of behavior modifications that has to take place. For instance, being re-educated with correct information that can help us along the way where we can make certain corrections to get there, right? But yet it seems to be a lot of controversy amongst us as a people to where a lot of us still, we just don't get it. So for us who are considered to be like more spiritually mature and more in tune with certain perspectives of knowledge itself, for instance, right? I'm just doing my part, baby, to be a source of enlightenment amongst darkness, to the point where mentally, a lot of our people is in a state of emergency to where they need to be rescued from the depths of ignorance. Now, mind you, us in our right mind, we are a brilliant, intelligent people with social skills that represent fine culture. But we've been bombarded with certain negative images that have caused us to be influenced by the negative images, thinking it's cool to be negative, thinking it's cool to chase after things that don't even matter, but yet put us in a socially weakened state to where we are ineffective when it comes to the bigger picture that we are to aspire to as far as nation building. Now, imagine the book that Dr. Amos Wilson put together called The Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative, which means a must. This is a must that we have to do in order to advance as a intelligent people who act like they got some sense politically and socially and economically. And of course, culture-wise. Now, I'm going to go into some words of the supreme being amongst us, our master teacher, Panabab Yanun, right? I think that the toxicity and the dysfunctionality that we are seeing on a daily basis when it comes to like these particular invisible force fields of negativity, right? We're gonna ride with this. You know what I'm saying? These tones are so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I was speaking on regarding the particular force fields of negativity that seem to the invisible force fields of negativity, like between the men and the women not clicking on positive harmonics connected with positive thoughts of cooperating with one another through the teachings is lacking. So much so to the point where individuals have become hard-hearted. Well, people's hearts have waxed worse, like biblical terminologies was talking about, which are indeed, in fact, happening right now, which is a particular reality where mentally people are seared in their consciousness to be rebellious and narcissistic, to where they not working in service of divinity, of this liberation process. They have sold themselves short to the point where they are at the receiving end of eating from the devil's table. In this life, this is one great big test. And there's certain powers that be who are doing their job very good, right? To win as many souls as they can. So where you stand in the mix of this reality of this world we've been born into. But we don't have to be of it. There is a better world that we can be connected to. That the straight and narrow path is connected to. Now, man, the master teacher have come to help pave the way with the outformation for us to be connected with that straight and narrow path through the opening of the seventh seal in this information age, this computer age, this information age, where they say this is a particular time of disclosure, what is being disclosed? Who is doing the disclosure in comparison to the opening of the seventh seal by the master teacher? Who is doing the disclosure? We got to give credit to where credit is due. I'm letting the master teacher's words be known. In addition, with me having a mind of my own, with my own creative input and proper perspective that's in sync and that's in harmony with our true spiritual science. Now follow this line of reasoning, right? Put your thinking caps on, open your minds, and let's travel. Let me show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. But the master teacher sure showed us how deep the rabbit hole goes, right? To the point where he showed us how deep the rabbit hole goes, down to the bottom of the iceberg, back to the surface of the planet on the landmass, to where the master teacher indeed have revealed some things to us for us to get where we can make the necessary corrections to succeed in the face of a lot of trick knowledge that intend for a lot of us to get tripped up and fall and be fallen ones because they are the fall. You know what I'm saying? It was this particular term biblically, right? When it was talking about behold a pale horse, its rider is death, and hell followed behind that particular horse wherever it went, or wherever it will go. Hell followed closely behind it. So who's causing all the confusion on the planet? It's bigger than just the little ghetto stuff, you know, that a lot of us is tired of, to where we want to see a lot of elements in the black community adopt intelligence perspectives where we make our communities safe places to live, comfortable places to live, pleasant places to live, you know what I'm saying, and with good connections with the rest of our brothers and sisters, like what they call the diaspora on the African continent, that's full of resources that us as a people who are indigenous to a lot of these land masses that's rich in resources, we shouldn't want to have a want for nothing. But look at the political and colonial perspectives of why things the way that it is, in addition with the imperialism, right? Okay, we finna do the knowledge on some things, right? Okay, the master teacher, right, is asking certain questions and providing answers for us to ponder on, like, yeah, we should look at things in these broader perspectives, right? For instance, when it comes to equal opportunity for us to have this, that, and the third, the necessities of life or whatever, do we really have equal opportunity? Where it seemed like, as far as the civil rights picture, what are we truly benefiting from economically to where we well off without having to go through all these certain struggles to get there? Really look at the certain struggles that us as a people still to this very day is fighting to overcome, to have a piece of the rock, a piece of the pie, or to get a piece of what we naturally have birthrights to, as far as this land or other landmass areas on the planet. Now, man, I mentioned before, what we learned from our true spiritual science, the word games that certain mind magicians play on the minds of us to cast spells for us not to see certain things and function on a certain level to where it benefit them, where it work in their advantage for us to be spellbound by they manipulative tactics, right? To solidify their position of advantage of their secret society circles. Now, man, all this is going on, right? And Partner Bab Yanun came here so we can go to the next level. For instance, the equal opportunities. Where's the opportunities for us to really be in our sovereign capacity that's respected politically, and the rest of the in the international picture of civilized societies. Now, for instance, every black household should have that book. This is the blueprint for Black Power. So, in order for the key word blueprint, there's a certain foundation in place to follow with instructions, step by step, how to do this, how to do that, how the black man should conduct himself, how the black woman should conduct herself, how the children are to be taught and conduct, where they conduct themselves a certain way, to where we all is in tune and in sync with these particular instructions on how to become empowered socially without suffering from social retardation as a result of our minds being infested by thoughts that cause us to be out our right mind in somebody else's mindset that represent their culture and not our culture. Now, man, you all due respect to other people's cultures, but what is our culture? What is our cultural folkways to the point where we own time contemporarily right now, where we know what we doing? It's either we know what we doing or we don't know what we doing. And the ones who don't know what they doing, they are in need of proper guidance. So when brothers and sisters come across light code transmissions such as this, right, where each one teach one to communicate with our people on these outside the box thinking perspective, that's for the purpose and reason to make us a better people. This is a positive thing. There isn't anything wrong with this. So don't let certain forces who think y'all so weak, man, to the point where y'all can look at a positive message like this and think that it's something negative. In fact, this is actually something positive to help you. I'm a friend. I'm a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? We breathing knowledge here. My channel here is about breeding knowledge, sharing knowledge for the purpose of my viewers, listeners, and supporters to create right actions that will further the intentions of us doing things right. Like for instance, when you hear this, share it, like it, subscribe, have a comment, let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying about this light code transmission of communication, where you're trying to gain ground here in a positive light. Now, for instance, the master teacher was asking this particular question, right? As far as like things in our circles, right, where we live, and as far as our business, nation building, business with us, there's too much disruptions going on. Look at the disruptions, right? Certain elements disrupt everything when it comes to us uniting and organizing around certain concepts that will cause us to experience real creative pleasures of life as an independent, responsible people. Now, for instance, you know how a lot of us think, if I can't get a good job, I can't pay my bills, right? It leads me into a life of crime. You know what I'm saying? Or they know that, certain forces know that these conditions, right, of not having jobs or being brothers and sisters getting work with certain corporations, institutions, and establishments, right? To where they know certain people will end up living a life of crime, and they know these things, right? So certain powers that be create certain realities for certain responses to take place in a society to where it's designed that way. But wait a minute. Even though they know these things, we still can utilize our better judgment by utilizing our own internal gifts and talents and manifesting them in a way where we can benefit and make a living from that perspective, or through making right choices to the point where we still can earn a living through positive decision making, without falling into that particular trick bag of them mind magicians who like to play games on the human mind. Now, for instance, they know that. How we have to create ways to make sure we can provide for ourselves. The blueprint for Black power, a moral, political, and economic imperative. Once again, the word imperative, right, means a must. You know what I'm saying? This intelligent process means that this is a must for these things to be done. Now, I had touched on the basis about mind-altering substances or mind-altering chemicals that should be avoided, that won't cloud our thinking to the point where, like certain biblical terminologies when we're talking about that we should be a sober-minded people, or people of the Most High. We are to be sober-minded, right? And we have certain overseers called the watchers, right? Us being in a sober mind, that's the kind of observation perspective that a sober mind put us in as well. We will become watchers. Watchers of what? Watchers of the war of the worlds regarding the wills of the people and the will of the duality of certain expressions that's operating in the people regarding good and evil forces. Okay, now for instance, regarding principalities and high places, right? Will drugs play a major role in the New World Order? Yes. What has been happening is principalities and high places have been having this so-called war on drugs, right? For over 10 years. That is crap. If they really wanted to stop drugs, they would. That's just for the public. By this year 2000, right? Right now we in 2023. Now what particular drug problems is taking place out here in 2023 right now? And this was back in 2000. But in reality, as far as 2000 and beyond, right? We see these occurrences still taking place dealing with the drug issues. So are people just that numb in the mind or dumb in the mind to where they just don't foresee these constant hypocritical reports of the war on drugs? But yet there's a problem in certain communities where people been dying from fentanyl, drugs. And we gotta eat different. We gotta stay away from the drugs that is masquerading as food. But I hope y'all got y'all thinking caps on, because we finna go in these particular terminologies that is for setting the minds of the captives free. For instance, right? Now, it will be, right? It will be a drug, right? It will be a requirement for you to use drugs. They will be called recreational drugs. They will be given to people in their food and water supply without you even knowing it. Now, that sounds like pure evil. The master teacher say, don't believe me, check it out. What's really happening in our society and in our environments and in the world, all over the world, regarding these opinions or facts, right? They will be given to people in their food and water supply without you even knowing it. They will be given to you to control your minds. They will even go as far as setting up drug bars. Now mind you, what social places that you can go to where you can engage in those kind of recreational drug activities. Now, I'm not judging nobody, right? But us as people who are thinkers, we are to use good judgment. You will suspect and think like every human being who has a brain will utilize their brain just for that purpose, right? To think and be like, you know what, is this good for me? Or is that good for me? Is this person good for me? Or is this person bad for me to be around? Or is what I'm putting in my body good for me? I can learn before it's too late. So as a fact, I catch it on before it's too late. You taking action, doing something currently about bettering your life situation. And that's a part of raising our vibrations, making corrections, maximizing positive habits, and minimizing negative habits. Now, just continue to read, right? Regarding the hippocampus area of the brain. Now, the hippocampus associated with long-term memory. See, this is dealing with the mind. That's why it's important to have mental health. Mental health is a major concern when it comes to human life. So we won't be a threat to ourselves or won't be a threat to others, to where we will be of some good use to ourselves through self-love and good use to others through love, through loving our neighbors as ourselves, right? But yet you have the hate mongers who pushing all kinds of negative frequencies for people, you know what I'm saying, to hate others. Like for instance, I seen this billboard. When I was riding down the street the other day, right? And what it was putting in the airwaves with the particular words that was on it, right? Check this out. The words was like, I hate such and such. And this has been promoted on these billboards that cost money to put up there, and that's the message that they had on it. I hate such and such. But it's hate speech instead of love frequencies. But anyway, regarding our long-term memories, regarding the hippocampus area of the brain, right? That the master teacher went deeper into certain perspectives regarding what's called a barytheric gland or barytheric gland, right? And it reads, he said, the hippocampus associated with long-term memory. Where did they get that from? I told the congregation or our people that attended the second annual Nuwabu Ball how scientists were coming up with their own chip to insert in the hippocampus area of the brain, which will duplicate the barytheric gland that I taught you about. Now, for all you who thought I was making it up and said that there is no such thing as a barytheric gland, which gives you your higher senses, intuition, clairvoyance, psychometry, and telepathy. Well, here it is. The Euro-Americans have confirmed it, and more than likely, you will believe it now, since white people are talking about it, right? Neurologists are trying to put a chip in the hippocampus area of the brain, which is responsible for learning and your memory. Most of you never even heard of a part of the brain called hippocampus. until I told you about it and what it was for. They don't understand the workings of the brain and the neurons inside of the brain. Thus, they have decided to call the whole system a black box, which is merely another confession. They are creating a synthetic pituitary gland for their people. Unfortunately, the bitterness of truth is living to see all that was prophesied come to pass. Now, dealing with the science and the art of memory. Why does it seem like there are certain forces at work that want to affect our long-term memory? Like, for instance, certain events that have been tragedies that made it on the news regarding people losing their minds, hurting people, killing people, doing unthinkable things, cars running off roads, crazy women who have been making spectacles of themselves by being under the influence of certain drugs that cause them to act like animals, running out in the streets naked, looking like they have been under some kind of demonic possession. You know what I'm saying? While in the streets, just running wild, looking crazy, with no kind of real consciousness of feeling shame, like their consciousness has been gone. Like certain biblical terminologies are talking about when they have a reprobated mind. So these particular influences that have seem to win these people over to the point where they lose self-control, or some other entity in them is in control, that it's not of a true self and a natural mind state or state of mind for them to be functioning normal. But yet, they abnormal. So, are they casualties of war? In this spiritual war of good and evil? Our minds has to be protected. That's why true spiritual science provides us with a psychic self-defense that will ward off not only everyday people's nonsense or negative thoughts that they project toward us, try to affect us with, but we also have a psychic self-defense that protect us against the telepathic influences of extraterrestrial beings. That's the power of right knowledge. That going into the reality of these higher beings, they are a part, the disagreeable ones are a part of this global manipulation of the minds of the people. Now, for instance, right? For instance, right? Say no to drugs. Think about this, right? That's one thing we have to do in this area time. We have to read, my people. We have to think. You have to get into the habit of liking to think. Think about this, right? Look, they are able to go to Iraq and blow them up just for bothering some small country, Kuwait, right? They are able to join in and get involved in everyone else's business when it comes down to war, but they can't do anything about the crime in this country. Now wait a minute. Listen to that. In this country, our country, here, at home, we ain't talking about abroad. We're talking about here at home, domestically. Now, there were certain political circles talking about foreign enemies to our country or domestic enemies to our country, to where the purpose of Homeland Security is for Homeland Security, meaning taking care of home, making sure the internal domains of the United States of America is protected from unclean things and bad energies, to the point where certain climate control here, you know what I'm saying, like for instance the United States airspace, you know what I'm saying, the atmosphere within these borders, we would think are to be free from air pollution on all kind of levels, right? Where the people are valued and protected from toxic poisons or substances or unrefined characteristics in people, you know what I'm saying, that will cause domestically for our society to be the best in civilized society. But yet, like that particular magazine was pointing out, right, talking about identifying hate groups. Hate groups pollute social relations. The Southern Poverty Law Center magazine. Now, we got to address this. They identify certain hate groups in reality, but at the same time, they misclassifying other groups and misquoting them as hate groups, like certain people who is a part of organizations, right, that is talking about outside the box thinking and alternative information, other than what they be trying to feed us in the medias or news channels. But they won't say nothing about how the news channels be hypocritical and omitting real knowledge that we should be getting as we would think educated people, educated American people in a society. But yet, these groups that's out here actually are lights in the midst of darkness, who are not hate groups, they lie and say, try to throw them And then with the real hate groups. But we not hate groups. We love groups who exercise our true culture separate from a lying culture that don't belong to us. See, the devil said, I'm gonna make what's wrong look right and what's right look wrong. So by me just articulating a point that was right, the evil one will make what I said look wrong, which is backwards. See, the evil one loved to utilize what's called reverse knowledge. Reverse psychology. Mind games. The minds of the people always is attacked and messed with. To the point to the point where hold on. Look. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. We have to protect our minds from being played with. That's why certain reading material will help remedy that situation mentally, force it not to be messed with. For instance, just continue to read with this particular line of reasoning, right? They are able to join. Hold on. Dealing with the crime in the country, it can be stopped. Now, man, they say they can't do anything about the influx of drugs, right? In America. Now ask yourself why not. Ask yourself why not, right? Ask yourself why not. It's not like they don't have the power to do so. America is considered to have one of the most powerful military forces known to man in the world, right? You can't tell me that they can't take control of the problems that are right here in America at home, affecting millions of people. Because I know that the reason why they aren't trying to do anything about the violence, crime, the drugs, etc., is because they don't want to. So, if that's the case, ring the alarm. If that's the case, right? If that's the case, ring the alarm. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, ring the alarm, baby. Now, that is a deep perspective. Because I know that the reason why they aren't trying to do anything about these elements, negative elements, is because they don't want to. They want you to kill each other. Because that's what gives them the upper hand. Now think about that. Growing up, as a young adolescent into my adulthood years, right? I grew to have a overstanding about me being responsible for my actions. Right? We all as adults is responsible for our actions. We have to watch ourselves. Look what we doing. We have to save ourselves before we wreck ourselves. A lot of us out here, or a lot of y'all out here, is wrecking yourselves. And the devil dancing, doing the James Brown over y'all wrecking yourselves. Got another one. Got another one. You know what I'm saying? But in case of us, Star Season chosen ones, not us, ain't got us. And potentially a lot of y'all who haven't woke up to your calling and recognized that you was at the Most High. You won't be got either. You'll see through the tricknology of the devil. This goes on to read, right? Now, the ability to control what goes on in this country, right? If a criminal murders somebody, the government will take away the gun that he used to kill and let him go. However, if you don't pay taxes or do something against the government, they will hunt you down and then say they can't do anything about the crime. You better wake up and realize that what's going on around you is not just happening out of sheer coincidence. It's called foul play. All of the chaos in the world is being done intentionally. This is not happening by mistake. It's not a mistake except when it doesn't go right the first time. So, with that said, right, this is a time for good people to come together, right, and do the right thing to stop the madness out here. The madness has to stop. We're here to clean up the mess. We're here to clean up the filth. We're here to make the necessary corrections we need to make for us to be successful and continue on into the future where we all can have a bright future. The fall of America. Can it be averted? Can it be avoided? Yes, it can be avoided by us stopping the error of our ways. I love these teachers. You know what I'm saying? I love these teachers because they serve a good purpose for the permutation of the human species. And I done transformed for a good reason through the teachings. So I apply what I know to where I'm not just hoarding the knowledge for myself. I'm sharing the knowledge to have positive conversations with the knowledge, to have a positive impact on my viewers, listeners, and supporters. Subscribe to this channel, like it, and share it. For righteousness' name's sake. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's see if I want to go here. This right here was talking about, in this particular following article, right? They are paying off drug addicted women to get their tubes tied in the name of preventing addicted babies into the world. I'm gonna read that again. In the following article, they are paying money, right? They are paying off drug addicted women to get their tubes tied in the name of preventing addicted babies from coming into the world. Sound like population control to me. Now, prenatal care can reverse the process. Healthy prenatal care can reverse the process of the babies being ill-affected. Some kind of intervention can take place where she can be healthy and the baby can be healthy. But for the sake of just allowing her for not getting no real help to change, her habits with some kind of rehabilitation, it sounded like they just allow her to be in that state where the baby is ill affected to the point where they paying her money for her to have her tubes tied, to stop having babies altogether, not committing an abortion to get rid of that baby, which the scriptures say thou shalt not kill. But they they follow through with the abortions anyway. But this particular baby that she was having, you know what I'm saying? Did that baby get aborted? You know what I'm saying? In addition to them paying her off. You know what I'm saying? Them thinking that the baby is addicted to the drug too. Drug addicted babies. Wow. Drug addicted babies. That's messed up. It's messed up, man. These kind of things, that's why just work to be done. That's all to it. People can't give up. People can't be indifferent. People gotta, I remember when the master teacher was like, just learn to care. For the sake of this transmission, this is how to care. I care about what's going on. For instance, I want to read this one more time so this can sink in. Now, they are paying off drug addicted women to get their tubes tied in the name of preventing addicted babies into the world. Shouldn't they be helping the woman stop taking drugs, as opposed to stopping them from having babies? That's what I was just saying to myself and sharing with y'all my thoughts on it. Right? Now, taking notice of these realities is that's a proper thought. Now, for instance, hold on. Dealing with hold on. Dealing with the drug issue, right? Drugs is out here, but you don't have to use them. So, just like a lot of things out here, we don't have to say yes to. But that we can say no to. But as far as what's healthy for us to partake in, let us partake in those beautiful things. That's what I'm partaking in. So to hell with y'all nonsense. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of it. Miss me with the BS. Go over there with that. That's what you want to do. I'm not the one. I'm not a part of that nonsense. My man is on the straight and narrow. And what comes along with the straight and narrow is my daily bread of right knowledge. My spiritual connection with the right man-ether forces. That means right by me connected with the overseers and the watchers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in good company. All praise due to the all. For instance, this goes on to read, right? This particular question. Hold on. As far as them beings, them extraterrestrial beings that I was talking about, I wanted to speak on, but before we get to them, let's get into the psychology of these politicians. Yeah, the politics and politicians, right? What about the politics or the politicians? Will they do anything to about trying to stop this? Now, we have some agreeable politicians, and we have disagreeable politicians. Just like we have agreeable extraterrestrial beings and disagreeable extraterrestrial beings. Just like we got righteous black people, you know, we have black devils. Just like we have righteous white people, and we have wicked white devils, etc. Same particular agreeable and disagreeable elements in all the races, period. Right? So let's not fool ourselves thinking that everybody that look like us is of us when they not. Because I know for a fact every brother ain't your brother. Every sister ain't your sister. Right? So it's only right for us to act accordingly. So I'm continuing to live righteous and represent this true light and the pure pages of the factology versus the amber light of the beings who propagate false theologies to try to enslave us. Elijah Muhammad had made a statement. He was like the master teacher encouraged us to read to become educated. Elijah Muhammad was like, stay mindful of resurrection teachings so we won't be lulled back to sleep. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. And a lot of these niggas out here, as far as these black women who like to call themselves, bitches and hoes too, they are indeed lulled to sleep. But they are vulnerable to the trick knowledge and influences of them unclean spirits and legions of devils that's inside them, where they thinking they not infested by the particular walk-ins and negative thought forms that has been planted in their head by interlopers who have infiltrated their mind where they don't even have control of their own psyche. They are under the influence of a spiritual, mind-altering thought form, compound with drug use that opens them up to other forces. This really gets deep. There's layers to this spiritual warfare that you have to learn about so you can know how to not open yourself up to those six ether forces. That don't mean you know good, but yet the natural six ether beings is by nature in their natural state where they do what they do, where according to their nature, that's good what they do on the six ether force level. That's why we have to have knowledge of self and be in our right mind as nine ether beings. Now this goes on to read about the particular politicians, right? Okay, what about politics or the politicians? Will they do anything about trying to stop this? The politicians are a part of this thing too. Let me say it again. All of your high officials across the world are linked up with this new world order. Not one of them is going to try to buck the system. And if they do, they will be eliminated. Like I said, either politics is a science, and it's called political science, because there is a method to politics. You say, well, what is that method? If they can keep people unoccupied, disorganized and frightened and scared, with no money and with crime, then they won't start thinking of the government or how fair it is. They don't want you to become self-sufficient or independent because they want you to be subservient to them. They don't want you to serve any other master. They want to be your only God. Stop right there. You know what I'm saying? They want to be your only God. Now on back in the dollar bill, what does it read? In God we trust. What God is that? It's supposed to be a society domestically here in the United States of America where the people are one nation, under God, indivisible, where there's unity and justice for all. Is that a dream? Is that a pipe dream? Or have we been living in a reality of a nightmare that's not living up to the dream? Ideology. Things that make you wonder, like, wait a minute, who is our friend? Who is our friend? Because it appears we have domestic enemies around us. Who is our friends around us in these political circles? We do have friends, right? Who are they? Our real friends will identify themselves and treat us as such, as far as being a friend, being helpers one to another to help make our environment a better place, doing the work on this planet where the earth is the Most High's and the fullness thereof. This is a planet of abundance. Look around us. None of us should be in lack of anything. But yet, certain of us don't have access to certain resources that's scarce when we supposed to have social security. Come on now. Come on now. We got to do better than this. But this goes on to read, all right? Now, there is a method to their madness. The United States is the most powerful military nation on earth. The United States, once again, is a corporation. And compared to the United States of America being the country. So you have a natural citizen, and you have a corporate status, slave status citizen. Which one are you? This goes on to read, right? They have total control over everything. The late President Franklin D. Roosevelt said, anytime you see anything happening in politics, you better believe it was planned that way. Anything that is going on, they know about it. There's a method to their madness, and their goal is total rulership. Control over the minds of the mass population. Much love to Partner Bab Yanun, the enlightener, the reformer, the warrior angel. Look, this continues to read, right? We need right knowledge today because the level of certain intelligence communities that's out here, they indeed are intelligent. They indeed are intelligent. Now, dealing with the higher intelligence, right? With these extraterrestrial beings that we connected to as Nubians, Moors, modern day Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, right? A certain God seed bloodlines, right? We are like a intelligence community as well, because we are connected with the elder beings. For instance, right? This continues to read. So what should we expect in the year 2000 and beyond under the one world order? Under the one world order, the population will be reduced by the number of children that you have per family. I remember when I heard this particular practice taking place in China before I heard of the New World Order terminologies. So maybe China was a part of that when they knew about this globalist idea way back then, but just didn't publicize. Maybe that was a part of that particular system of things way back then. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying, by the way this is reasoning out is possible. So now as far as using wars, diseases, famines, until they have gotten down to at least 1 billion people who are worthy to them. America is one of the leading countries in military weapons, and they will use that as a means of controlling you and your children. They want to enslave you, your child, your mother, your wife, etc. Nothing you own is yours. Man, come on, man. This is just, come on, man. This is, come on, man. I mean, come on, America has its sovereignty. We like owning things. We like having our own space. We like to own our own property. We like our own freedoms. We like our own independence. So in light of these particular suggestions that they saying in this, right? America, I don't think we not going for, come on now. Come on now. We not going for this. We like our freedoms. We like our independence. You know what I'm saying? As sovereigns. Sovereigns. Now, for instance, right? All of the tyrants or leaders have tried to take over by using military forces, but they have all come to find out that the military does not work. In 1776, the Illuminati developed a new concept to create enough chaos and frighten the world into saying there is too much crime, too much war, etc. And their whole purpose is to make you think that they are here to help you and that they won't hurt you. However, they do the total opposite. Now wait a minute. There is real people who are out here helping us because us as genuine God seeds who are genuinely helping others, we want to see people do good. But we know that there's evil forces out here that don't want us to see us do good. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to participate in that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? We out here doing good works as light workers. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to the light workers. Shout out to all of the people on the planet that's out here who is making a positive difference. Okay. What we got? They stage, right? All of this stuff just to come together under one world. You see, after they have made you feel unsafe, they will play reverse psychology on you so that you will willingly say yes to the New World Order. They will tell you that the New World Order is to benefit you and that they will protect you from all of the chaos. The chaos that they cause to happen, the chaos they created purposely to scare you. America is dominating the New World Order by money, religion, crime, music, etc. Now, what is the etc.? Question: what will happen to the children? Answer: there will be no family. Hold on. There will be no family. Your children will belong to the state. You will have no rights over your kids. A woman will only be allowed to have 2 children. If she happens to get pregnant after the second child, it will be aborted. They are going to take the children away from the parents. Those kids, right? Those kids will receive an education under the principles of the New World Order. They are going to be tainted. They are going to be trained at labor camps set up by the one world to teach them to be guards for prisons, etc. What is the etc.? And this is very real, right? Now, this particular area going into the Final Call newspaper, right? How much time I got? I got enough time to go here. Okay, now the Final Call newspaper, right? You know, about a feticide topic. You know what I'm saying? As far as preventing the birth of more children into the world. It was just an example of like one of the particular processes that had took place. Which wasn't an isolated type incident, right? But now when you read the excerpts of the following article, remember, these people have their own agenda. And their agenda does not include you. You can take heed and prepare yourself for the real picture that I've been painting in your minds. All these years, I've been writing books. Or you can continue being deceived, right? By the words and image of the beast. Right? The Bible, the Holy Quran, the Holy Tablets, or scriptures or information of the sun cycle. Point at things for us to not live in the image of the beast. Now, every family that has children would be like in a state of mind, right, to raise their children the right way and to go the right way. So, us as people of the Most High, who is listening to the divine guidance of right knowledge and correct information that put our mind in proper sequence, right? We on the right direction. So don't be mad at us. For instance, right? We are living in the image of the gods. The elders, the overseers, the watchers, the riskies, the newbies. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. And the tongues, you know, we gotta keep the tongues going. These some beautiful 9 ether tongues here. So, getting to the extraterrestrials now. Getting to the extraterrestrial perspective now. Question: can you tell us more about extraterrestrials? Now, these terminologies, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Is the media our friend? Is the computers our friend? You know what I'm saying? Hold on, it's so many perspectives, but let me get to where I was going now. Can you tell us more about extraterrestrials? Answer: we no longer have time to try to convince you that extraterrestrials, UFOs, Nibiru, and the Neteru are real. We have no more time to be trying to convince y'all that these beings and entities are real. We don't have time to keep trying to convince y'all, you know what I'm saying, about these things being real. We don't have time to convince you that your God concept is all wrong. What God concepts do we have that we think is right? That is all wrong, based on how the Tamahu have educated us with certain mythologies, right? To cut us off from our true roots. Now, what is our true roots that we have to be reconnected to, that we was cut off from? Right knowledge, our true spiritual sciences. This particular scroll right here is the Gospel of Yanun on the Sacred Feminine. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into these particular perspectives. Right? Now, we don't have time to convince you that your God concept is all wrong. Letter Aphrodite came here to do a job, and he's going to do it regardless. One thing is for sure: he told us that no one wins the race and racism. He meant it, and we mean that. We are not racist. We are not a hate group. We are a culture of refined right knowledge. Right? What he was trying to tell us is, it's not a black or white thing. Are y'all listening? This is not a racism thing. People who have that sickness and that disease of racism, they need certain internal corrections to get out of that. This is not a black or white thing. It's a gray thing. Going into the extraterrestrial biological entities. The grayness is bigger than this racism. That's a distraction, all this bickering and fighting. The master teacher came for the permutation of the human species to totally evolve into sound right reasoning. So the sound right reasoning raises us up consciously, conscious-minded wise, beyond the petty psychologies of the racial going back and forth when the planet has been seeded with certain intelligences that is beyond our differences as different racial groups dealing with the extraterrestrial beings, right? Now, regarding this saying, it's a great thing, meaning extraterrestrials, or what they refer to as grays, right, are under the control of reptilians and have come to this planet. Remember when I said the word planet? Within the word planet, you see the word plan, E-T, plan of the extraterrestrials, right? Now, as far as it's a great thing, meaning extraterrestrials, or what they refer to as grays, are under the control of reptilians and have come to this planet and have taken control right under our noses. Principalities in high places know this, but they are not telling us. They are not telling you. Why are they not telling us? Why are they not telling you? And they are not going to tell us. And they are not going to tell you. It doesn't matter what color of your skin is. It doesn't matter what color of your skin is. Question. So are you saying that reptilians are living on the planet Earth now? Yes. The reptilians originally could not stay out of water for only 3 hours. Now they can stay out of water for 6 to 8 hours. Rewind. For real though. Now they can stay out the water from 6 to 8 hours, right? When the reptilians came to the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa, and mixed in with them, they told them that they were called the Nomos, meaning instructor or lawgiver, who had come to guide them. Only if they would tell them of the secret caves the Rumardians dwelled in. Now, who are the Rumardians? So it's certain extraterrestrial beings who was already here that they wanted to know about, that they knew of certain histories about these particular beings that they was looking for. These Rumardians in certain caves inside the earth. Now, they did not have the Dogon's best interests. They were just using them These beings live underwater during the day, and by the shadow hours at night, they will come out to teach them. These reptilians taught the Dogons of their great deity, Dagan, thus naming the tribe Dogons. The reptilians also taught them knowledge about the universe, star formations, and constellations without the aid of telescopes. That's why when a particular white scientist or astronomers or astrologers or whatever those white people were who was curious about how did the Dogons know about the particular Sirius star system, Canis, what's that? The particular star system that they was talking about that was out there, Sirius A, Sirius B, or something like that, certain star constellations, right? Without advanced telescopes to see them, but yet they knew about them. So they like, how is that possible? But they didn't have the technology to be able to detect that, because these beings already put them up on certain histories of them constellations and their relationship to them, right? The reptilians also taught them knowledge about the reptilians also taught them knowledge about the universe, star formations, and constellations without the aid of telescopes. The maps they have today, are so accurate that they match modern day maps, right? For more information concerning the Dogons, For more information concerning the Dogons, refer to Scroll, Extraterrestrials in Creation, and the Holy Tablets. Question: the reptilians that have human forms or bodies, are they actually human? Answer: when they are described as human in shape or humanoid, it only means as far as their outside appearance or physical body structure. Many do take on human form due to mixing and breeding with humans. You are not the only beings in the galaxy that have the human look. Different beings have taken life from different beings have taken life form from this planet and transported to their planet in test tubes. Beings from Venus and Pleiades are very human-like. A very common physical feature of reptilians that is showing up more and more in Nubians, talking about our people, right? Our Nubian people, right? Is the back of their head being flat, or what is termed slope-headed. Other defects from mixing with reptilians is puffy fingertips, long nails, and webbed hands. There are many skin diseases that come from mixing with extraterrestrials. The skin disorders such as eczema is from mixing the genes with reptilians, which is extreme cases of very dry, scaly, leather-like looking skin. Everybody has scales. When you don't put on oil or lotion, you easily see the flakes on your skin. It is what you call ash. These disorders are on a small level. Some are extreme, as in the case of two children born in India, right? Where the skin on their entire body is extremely rough, dry, scaly, and discolored. This disorder is called ichthyosaurus, pronounced ichthyosaurus, meaning fish lizards, a type of reptile that exists during the Mesozoic time until the Cretaceous period. This is just further proof that humans evolved from different life forms, and the fact that there is extraterrestrial involvement with the genes of humans. Now, it's like cold transmission, right? With that said, regarding this light cold transmission, who are you? Who are you really? So much love to my viewers, listeners, and supporters. You know what I'm saying? All we want to do is set the whole record straight. You know what I'm saying? And not only get to the bottom of what's the real truth, but to get to the top of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Regarding the pyramid text, the pyramids. Much love though, you know what I'm saying? Everybody stay armed with knowledge, my people. Get off into our true spiritual science, through sound right reasoning. Stay sucker free out here. Stay out of trouble. Try to, be well informed. You know what I'm saying? And stay separated from the unclean things of the world. And don't feed off into the negative sex forces either. You know what I'm saying? So exercise agreeableness. Know that you are loved. You know what I'm saying? And the love and frequency that we deserve is indeed a frequency that we are to be connected to the natural nature now. And stay away from these haters. You know what I'm saying? So keep yourselves intact. Do your psychic self-defenses. And operate in our shoes. Divine love, because we are the winners. 100. And remember, the overseers and the watchers, and as far as the reformer bringing us these life-saving teachings, being the warrior angel Melchizedek. You know what I'm saying? The warrior angel. You know what I'm saying? Who have come to set the record straight for us to be all right out here. Indeed, we're on the right path.